Yo, Russell Brand got baptized. This is like, it's kind of a wild story.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pop culture, personal story. Russell Brand, you know, he had that shift. He's like a lefty guy. Now he's a very anti-establishment guy. And then I saw the story, and it's Russell Brand from sex, drugs, and rock and roll to anti-establishment, freedom, and Christ.
Based.
Well, he's always been interested in spirituality. My question is, are people reacting to him? How are they treating him similar to the Nala girl? Like, everyone was so skeptical of her with Russell Brand. Are they like, no, of course we believe you.
No. How are you going to compare him to the Nala girl? Russell Brand's he's been out the game for quite a bit from, you know, his back in the day type of stuff. She just stepped literally out of the OF didn't even change her hair color. Come on, don't do that. And I don't know either one of them. I'm just letting you know what I see. I'm not the ultimate judgment of where their faith is.
Genuine. I've seen a couple people do that, but by and large, I would say the reaction has been pretty positive, at least that I've seen online.
No.
There were some people that pointed out that he did a video shortly after his baptism video where he talked about tarot cards, and a lot of, Christians were talking about how, stay away from that type of stuff. Someone's got to tell him. But I think by and large, the reaction has been very positive. I think this is...
She came out the gate straight out of OF, and she was acting like she was the head honcho, man. She is Nala. I'm talking about. I have a video of Nala back on the channel. Russell Brand's not doing that.
A wonderful, awesome development. And he talks about it in his video where he kind of walks through the baptism and what the experience was like for him. He said that for a long time, he looked for, a feeling of like being set apart and being fulfilled through the lifestyle he was living, mainly through drugs and things like that. And he said he's never felt more tranquility or peace than he did being baptized. So I think that's really cool to kind of see him.
He doesn't need this for views either. Nala retired from the OF. Now she's in a new line of business. It's a whole different thing.
Come full circle there.
So I'll read a little bit. They say the comedian announced his Sunday baptism in a Friday video shared to X, saying he was curious to hear about other people's experiences being baptized. Quote, "What has been explained to me is it's an opportunity to die and be reborn, an opportunity to leave the past behind and be reborn in Christ's name." The comedian noted the book of Galatians' remarks on enlightenment. Did I pronounce that right? Citing other philosophies on enlightenment and afterlife from Marcus Aurelius and Buddhist culture. Brand also acknowledged some may respond cynically to an interest in Christianity, though explained his interest in religion. Quote, "As meaning deteriorates in the modern world, as our value systems and institutions crumble, all of us become increasingly aware that there is this eerily familiar awakening and beckoning figure that we've all known all our lives within us and around us," he said.
Things are too crazy right now. We must find faith, and it doesn't have to be through Christ to me. For me, that's where it is, and I'm getting closer and closer and better slowly day by day with what that means. But, recently the philosophical dilemma brought to you by the Joshua Smith question brought to you by Stephen Ignoramus forced me to look at, okay, biblically speaking, through the word of Christ, what does that mean? And I was able to think through it and justify my take on it. But with everything that's happening, you got to find a steady compass. Where is north? If you don't have a compass, you're in the forest, you're lost. With all these different tricks and trades and algorithms and all that different stuff. And I think that's what you're seeing with Russell Brand. He's been deep in this stuff since the pandemic. And that's what you're seeing here.
It was an incredible, profound experience. Many aspects of it were very intimate and personal. The truth is, this, as a person who has in the past taken many, many substances and always been disappointed with their ability to deliver the kind of tranquility and peace and even transcendence that I've always felt I've been looking for, something occurred in the process of baptism that was incredible and overwhelming. And I got to tell you, even simply outside of any spirituality, it's community. It's a lot of people are doing drugs, slumming about, and no one cares about them and they have no purpose. And here is Russell Brand being surrounded by people who deeply care about him, going through this experience where he is basically joining his community in something. He's sharing something with something bigger than himself.
Yep.
Kat Von D got baptized and posted a video. This is just right at the end of last year, I think. And she did an interview with Allie Beth Stuckey and talking about like this is how I got here. And she was like, oh yeah, I listened to some of your stuff, Valley. Like, it's interesting. One of the things I remember her describing was the decision to leave California and move. I think they live in Ohio in like some really cool Victorian house, and finding a community there, like a church community. And it's, like a small, older Midwestern church community, and how much they embraced her and encouraged her and like being a part of the Bible study. I think the community structure to religion really does help people grow, and it fills a hole that a lot of culture doesn't have right now. I mean, this is an old documented thing, but we don't have bowling leagues. We don't have book clubs. Like, people aren't doing things as a community. Church is sort of the last vestige of that, and people need it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, he obviously, I think he's Catholic. His wife is Catholic. I think there's an interesting legacy there as well, in addition to the community, right? There's a lot of tradition. And like we were talking about earlier, it ties you to those who came before you, and you feel connected.
Let's look at Candace Owens commenting on Russell Brand. Just learning that Rusty Rockets, a.k.a. Russell Brand, is getting baptized. This is amazing. God is at work. It's a great story. Difficult to put into the words the spiritual urge I felt last year, an overwhelming understanding that it was and forever has been a holy battle of internal good versus evil. And I've been feeling the same way. Here's Russell Brand. Candace Owens retweeted this.
I'm taking the plunge. I'm getting baptized. At the moment, I'm very curious as to what you who have been baptized feel about it, what your expectations are of the event prior, and what it's actually like. What's been explained to me is it's an opportunity to die and be reborn, an opportunity to leave the past behind and be reborn in Christ's name, like it says in Galatians, that you can live as an enlightened and awakened person. Sometimes I think of non-Christian perspectives on it, like Marcus Aurelius saying, you are already dead, now live the rest of your life properly. Or the Buddhist saying, put down the corpse. All of these things seem so inviting and beautiful. I know a lot of people are sort of cynical about the increasing interest in Christianity and the return.
I'm not cynical. No. Who's cynical about that? No, there's specific people and incidents that people have questions about, but nobody's cynical about that. No, nobody's serious.
To God, but to me it's obvious, as meaning deteriorates in the modern world, as our value systems and institutions crumble, all of us become increasingly aware that there is this eerily familiar awakening and beckoning figure that we've all known all of our lives within us and around us. And for me it's very exciting.
So that's the clip that Tim read, but good to hear from him directly.
I'm getting back.
Candace Owens, she recently turned back. She said, went back home. 35, thanks be to God. Happy birthday to Candace Owens. This is on her subscription. Oh, I forgot I subscribed to her. Just put quick happy birthday, and I'll be on my way. But I wanted to go down her feed, though, because there's the picture of her, and I wanted to go and take a look at her post that she put, and she put that here recently. And, is that her child? My baby boy has now gotten so tubby that he no longer has wrists. Too precious. Aw, look at that. Oh, my goodness, that's too much. My wife, I'm too old for kids now. I got two young kids, 7 and 5. And I don't know what she was talking about. She was like, I want to have another kid. I was like, that ain't happening. It's not, let's just say it's not physically happening. It's impossible, basically. But that's madness for her to say that. But, if we had $1 billion, then maybe. Here's Candace Owens talking about her own. Recently, I made the decision to go home. There is, of course, so much more that went into this decision and that I plan to share in the future. But for now, praise be to God for his gentle but relentless guiding of my heart toward truth. Am I supposed to compare her to Nala too? Stop comparing everybody who's come back home or turned to Christ to Nala. You need to find some specific reasons to compare. Quote, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Do not fear. Christ is King. 9 million views. And shout out to Candace Owens. It's beautiful. Beautiful to see. All of the pro Nick, they all stan her. Nick's supposed to be the racist. Why is he standing a black woman of all people? I guess he's not as much of a racist as I was told he was. That's probably why.
Middle MAGA.